lot of students want to know how they can translate their experience to an employer when they're networking at an event for where an employer is recruiting, or perhaps in an interview. And the best way to think about that is thinking about all the experiences you've had while a student here at Emerson. Where have you interned? Where have you been a proven student leader in a student organization? What have you done in the community in terms of service or volunteering? What about your on-campus work experience? The best way to highlight those experiences and to make them feel unique is think what the recruiter would want to hear about your unique experiences. You probably have heard the term STAR, which is an acronym that can help you get through behavioral-based interview questions. For example, when a recruiter talks to you about, tell me about a time when you were given a project and it didn't go as planned. In behavioral-based interviewing, we coach you to use STAR, which stands for Situation, Task, Action, Result. And that acronym, if you tee up your stories, you can also use that in networking as well as interviewing in general. So when you're telling anybody about your story and how to engage them and who you are and what you're looking for, STAR is a great acronym to kind of help you tell successful stories about what you've accomplished, what skills you bring to the table, and why you want to work with an organization. A lot of students can feel intimidated when starting to think about networking for the first time and what that looks like. And what we fail to realize is that networking kind of happens all the time. So the more comfortable you can be at your branding and talking about who you are as a candidate and what you bring to the table, the more successful you'll be with networking. So think about all the people that can help you. Definitely engage with the Career Center right away so we can help connect you to alum and recruiters. Make sure that you're using the Emerge platform so you can create an account and connect with the Emerson alumni that way. The Emerson Mafia Facebook page, finding alum on LinkedIn. Don't be intimidated to reach out to professionals because we all started out that way as well. We were once college students. We're starting out in the world of work and trying to find our opportunities too. So we appreciate when someone reaches out to us for our advice. And it may be hard sometimes to schedule with a working professional or alum, but if you reach out and make an effort and kind of, maintain that communication, these are going to be professional relationships that will continue to happen in your career. Especially as you're just starting out, because they could lead to internships, opportunities with the employer where they work at their organization, or perhaps, just connecting you to other people who can then learn your story and what you're going for. A lot of students obviously have felt the frustration that COVID has brought to their college experience, especially when it comes to how to plan for the job search. So you want to think about, how can I maximize my time that in this weird circumstance COVID is giving me? Use this time to be researching the employers that you want to work with, doing research to see what organizations have what opportunities. Thinking about casting your net wide so that even if you're pretty certain you want to stay on the East Coast, say New York, DC, or Boston, but are considering something like the West Coast in California or Chicago, but are not sure because of kind of all the variables that have come with this COVID situation. If you cast a wide net and really take time to process the opportunity and do your research, you're going to have more opportunities at the, upon graduation or 4-year summer internships and things like that. It's all about planning and controlling what you can control. There's so many variables in life, but instead of sort of operating from a fear-based place, if you operate from more of a, let's stay open-minded, let's be ready for whatever opportunity comes my way, you'll be way more successful in the long run, and you'll get more mileage for your hard work and be able to connect to opportunity. Another big question students have is, while you're a college student and you're trying to manage your time, you're in student activities, student organizations, you are probably working at least part-time, and you're trying to finish up the semester and look for an internship for that summer or that next semester, or you're trying to find, you're graduating in May and trying to figure out how are you going to, make everything work and do everything in a timely fashion. So one of the best ways to kind of manage or temper that pressure is to create some kind of schedule for yourself to keep you organized and to create a structure. So what you can control in this situation is what you put out there. The more that you're putting out there in terms of networking, getting applications out, doing outreach to people who can help you, and telling people your story about who you are as a candidate and what you're going after, the more opportunity is going to be presented to you. If you're more reluctant to do that, or kind of just doing things without a structure, you're not going to see as many fruits of your labor. So I recommend students use something like a Google Sheet and split it into 4 parts. Have something that organizes all of the brainstorming and research. So a list of alumni names, a list of companies you're interested in, job titles, the best job posting sites for opportunity next to Handshake, professional associations, trade journals like Variety and Hollywood Reporter, alumni chapters and organizations, really anything that's going to help you kind of by category in this search as you're starting to gather information. I would then have a outreach log, so you track what applications are going out, the follow-up on those applications, any kind of dialogues or conversations you're having with alumni that you meet from Emerge or LinkedIn or at an event, career advising appointments and what we tell you for next steps and action items when you meet with us. And then definitely, just maintaining that follow-up. So separating that out by month so that you can have everything dated and you can keep a log of what you're putting out there and the advice that you're getting. The third tab, I would create a schedule for yourself, including your non-negotiables. So when are you in class? What shifts are you working? And then look at the hours of the business day to say, all right, how can I use this time to connect to professionals who are, at work in front of their laptops, engaging in that way and have their mind on, the opportunities at their company, other professionals that they work with, and maybe jobs and internships that may be at their organization, really making sure that you can maximize that time frame. If you're working sort of across coasts and trying to contact people in LA, it may be sort of out of that 9 to 5 on the East Coast time frame. Also making sure if you say have class Monday, but not till 6 p.m., you're not spending the whole day Monday just searching the internet sort of blind. You need to make sure that your search is action-based and that you're doing outreach and connecting with people too. So that stuff can kind of take place during the week, during the business hours, and then in the evenings and on weekends, you can work on your plan. You can search to find the amount of jobs that you want to try to get applications out for, and build a list of alum for communicating with all week, so that it's, kind of that, what are you doing each day within the time frame of the business hours of the day? What messages are going out? And then kind of assessing what's working with your plan and not. Then finally, having a dashboard for your time remaining until sort of your deadline. So maybe breaking the rest of the semester down and big picture goals. So like, when are some busy weeks that applications are due, or that's a rough week because you're going to have midterms, so you probably won't be able to get as many applications out. So if you have that kind of brainstorm parking lot, a outreach log to see who you're talking with and what advice you're getting, managing a daily schedule, and then also making sure that you have that dashboard. So instead of just looking at today's plan or the next 2 weeks, you can kind of see the semester or the school year at a glance to look at some important dates to consider. Doing that will definitely help you manage your time more successfully in the job search, and we'd be happy to review that with you.
So it's important to look back to look forward. It can be very daunting entering a graduate program and thinking about what is it that I'm exactly going to do. But do think back about your past experiences, everything that you've been a part of, and what's been really a great milestone for you, and also the catalyst that brought you to the program. Think about your in-class experiences, possibly an internship that you might do, and some of your on-the-job experiences. And it never hurts to network. There are plenty of things that you can do with your graduate program and the degree that you're going to receive, and we are more than happy to help you work through that and figure out what it is you're going to do. First and foremost, career changing is exciting. It may not seem that way, but it really is. And so one thing that you can absolutely do is prioritize the most relevant experiences, your transferable skills, and then anything else that you've had in the past, jobs, internships, volunteer work, all of that we refer to as foundational work, stepping stone jobs. So those can be just as important to have and to keep on your resume. So do not be ashamed of those. Like I said, there's plenty of transferable skills that you can highlight on your resume, as well as what you're doing now in your grad program. So the first thing to be aware of is that life happens, gap years happen, school happens. A lot of things can happen in your life that lead you to take a break or have a career transition and make a big change in your life. So do not be ashamed of that. What does matter, though, is how you talk about the time that you spent with self-development and professional development as much as you were able to, and finding that time to get back into the workforce, knowing exactly what it is that you want to do. And it's important how you talk about that. So a few things here. So while you are pursuing a job search during your graduate program, two things to keep in mind is both patience and persistence. Keep in mind you cannot do everything all at once. Many of you out there are parents, spouses, brothers, sisters, interns, students, doing part-time work, freelancing, and probably a ton of other things at once. So do pace yourself, find intention, take time to pause and think about what you're getting from your program first and foremost. And then the next thing is that time management. The job search, which includes networking, is not going to happen if you don't make the time for it. So it's going to be really important that patience as well as that persistence and making the time to meet with alumni to have those career conversations emerge is a great place to do that. And also taking advantage of your current job. You would be surprised. You can ask for projects outside of your position. Say you're curious, you're trying to get a little bit more experience in a certain area and would love to volunteer your time to do something. And so in that vein, it's a really good idea to ask for some of those opportunities on the job. And it never hurts to pursue internships as well, because while you're being a graduate student, if there's any time that you can have to do some internships, that's always great. But networking is going to be a huge piece of that, leveraging your current job experience and scheduling that time, even if it means getting out the Post-it, getting on your calendar and marking off that time to say, this is for my job search.